and this is the Grassroots Education and Entertainment Network, your number one source of information, education, and entertainment. For honest, responsible, and dependable information, we stand supreme. To stay focused, inspired, and relaxed, choose green. Ekabo, and welcome to the Ifa Orisa traditional community discussion show. I would open with this Oriki. Open ifun olorun, Oludumare Oba Ajiki, Mojiloni, Mowogun Meriaye, Iba Ila Olorun, Iba Iwo Olorun, Iba Ariwa, Iba Gusu, Iba Oba Igbalie, Iba Orun Oke, Iba Baba, Iba Yeye, Iba Atiwo Orun, Ibashe Igungun Kiki Igungun, Ibashe Ori, Ibashe Ori Inu, Ipori Atiwo Orun, Ofiopa Otototo, Ka Lesekana Arona. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. All right. Well, again, welcome to the Ifa Orisa Tradition Community Discussion Show. And for unforeseen circumstances, the regular host would not be with us this afternoon. But nonetheless, we promise you a very interesting show. For today's show, we are going to discuss something that may seem a little controversial, but it is something that everyone is in fact familiar with. It is something that many of us experience at regular intervals. And many people may ask, many devotees may ask in particular, where does this fit in with the Ifa Orisa tradition? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read an essay Ifa from Owori Irosun or Owori Loso. All right. The Odu speaks of the importance of dreams, which is going to be our topic today. Erimuye, the diviner of goodness, divined for Ola Wumumi when Ola Wumi slept and had a dream. In the morning, he sent for an Ifa priest to come and divine for him. Eramuyi, the diviner of goodness, came, divined Ifa, and found Owori Rosun. After a short reflection, he said, Olowumi, you had a dream last night. That is why you invited the Babalawo. In the dream, you heard the song of a dance bell and saw someone smiling at you. The dream you had was a good one. Therefore, you must make a sacrifice of 2 pigeons, 2 fowls, 2 bundles of kola nuts, and 2,500 koris. He heeded the advice and sacrificed. His head was deified with a pigeon. It was declared that Uluwumi will always be honored. All right, and that is the essay Ifa from Owori Loso or Iwori Irosun. All right, so now I'm going to read an article concerning dreams, all right, that came from a popular Ifa site, right? So what you're going to hear is not directly my opinion, but the opinion of the author of the article. However, the reason I chose the article is because the article sort of explains quite a bit and it elucidates on what dreams are and the role that they would play in the life of an Ifa devotee. All right. The word for dream in Yoruba is Allah, right? It's spelled ALA. Dreams in Yoruba conception is called Allah, from the word Allah, which is a boundary or border, the boundary of the physical state and the spiritual state of existence. Only the fool says that dream or Allah is not an extraordinary message from Oludumare. The infinite power regulating what is in the cosmos using the two invisible, strongest, and potent vibrations that exist to man of wisdom and man of discipline that has actually become the true disciple of Oludumare. These two vibrations range exist in Odus and in all Iromale, the divinities. Not all men would need to learn the system of divination to know the mind of Oludumare. Through his numerous divinities or energies called Odus, then men are given the power of Allah or dream to predict the future, to know the present things, and to be able to recollect the past, to handle very well the present and the future. Allah or dreams come to people in a sleep state. That is a little different from Ira, that is vision, which appears to man of the highest spiritual power in the awakened state of life. Dreams can be extraordinary because it speaks of mystery that explains certain phenomena in the cosmos. It also speaks of higher spiritual current in life of all beings, which are well versed in the spiritual orientation. Dreams are predictions and serve as divination because of its accuracy and potency that forms adequate and song divine message from the Father of Light, Oludumare, and his numerous divinities. Dreams are sent to us by Oludumare, manifesting in the spiritual state of men, and only men with sound discipline recollects his dream on an awakened state. To have good dreams, man must be extremely disciplined and free from alcohol, smoking, immorality, right? And in brackets, they have sexual immoral behavior, doubt, fear, and worry. He must ensure to have faith, belief, and conviction that life is a spirit and the spirit of all life manifests in the current and the linkages with higher energies. Immorality, alcohol, lack of faith, gluttony, and other factors affects the way divinities communicate with us. How can you explain a phenomena when a drunkard or gluttony sleeps? By the law of natural principles, he has altered his mental state that connects his spiritual soul terrain and the physical body that housed both the mental terrain and the spiritual state of his existence. Men lose the power of communication through a pure act of indiscipline and lack of self and mouth control. Indiscipline leads to the loss of spiritual power and song divine communication. Food and gluttony is another way by which dream power is taken away from us. When man thinks of food, he will definitely lose his spiritual appetite, which forms his foundation. Then the power of spiritual communication can be taken away also from those who uses food as a therapy or a way to get over worry and the other negative habits. Think less of food, develop your spiritual power, and you will see the rate at which the messages of spiritual vibrations will be communicated to you. Immoralities of sexual promiscuity is another way that disturbs the flow of spiritual, mental, and divine energies. Limit your intensity of sexual life only to your partner and never allow immoralities. Take away, take away the power of Oludumare in you. Be wary of the fact that your whole existence is a spiritual form that recognizes no sexual classification. To preserve that spiritual state of your being, be disciplined about sex and let the power of Oludumare abound in you, and the spirit of the Imale be your lot. Who does not know that when we die, we join the committee of ancestral souls that send a lot of message and vibration to the families in the physical state of existence? To receive this vibration on the earth plane, we need a disciplined and rightful bodily structure devoid of immoralities. And other factors which are very important also distributed or also disturbed the dream state. We must learn to depend on Olodumare through the wisdom acquired from Ifa to seek harmonious relationships between the mental, physical, and the emotional state of being. Hence, we should learn to avoid worry, avoid hate, avoid hurry and haste. A worried minded fellow will never sleep, and if at all he sleeps, he has really impaired or broken the communication link between him and his numerous emails working at the higher frequency to send spiritual currents in the form of dream or peace or when in a peaceful state of mind. Hence, to learn to become peaceful and commit your ways to Oludumare through Adura, Iwori, and some positive incantations and sacrifices. When a man is filled with praise in his heart and do his part of the bargain as a human, God or Oludumare, through his divinities, will sure manifest in his dreams or in his ways. Dream and death are siblings. We sleep to awake to physical life. It is called a dream state, which is pure illusion. And we sleep to go to another realm of existence, what is called a dead state. As Awu, you do not need to fear the two because they are natural phenomena that transmit certain spiritual frequencies back to physical life of existence. Both ways are extraordinary mechanisms to control the physical state and to show us that certain higher vibrations are working to preserve the entity and the natural energy in the cosmos. The manifestation of these two extreme cases are the product of divine knowledge and wisdom in our path to understanding of spiritual power in the cosmos. Dreams are really extensive spiritual links between a man of wisdom called Awu and God through his numerous divinities. Be cautious when you do not remember your dreams. Seek the help of a good Babalawo to help you retrace your step back to light. Itu enla ni Iliawo. The dream state and death are the home of a wise man. A wise man depends on his dreams to know what is going to happen to him tomorrow in the future. And that kind of power is spiritual and essential to spiritual growth and divine consciousness. When you dream, seeing certain energy forces down and disturb you not to wake up means you need to initiate your body and your soul to move away from the hands of Ajogun, which is the punitive knights of heaven. All right, this article was taken from Ayekamara. All right, and this article was from 2017. All right, I want to believe it's probably the September publication. So, for people who are interested in reading further, they may check Akamara, okay, website. All right, I'm going to read just um, two little wise sayings, right, that was written by an author by the name of J.O. Enadozi. All right, these are like, sayings, but they go a little bit uh, into referring to some common experience that human beings have. But it is also a reminder to us too of, things that we need to be very much aware of. All right, I'm only going to read two of them. The first one is anything you do, people must say against you. This reads, anything you do in this world, whether good or bad, people must say against you. Nothing you will do that they will praise you for. That instead they find out faults in it and say against you. Please, my friend, when they say against you, show them not that you are worried, to reply them not, because silence is the best answer to a fool. All right, that's one of the wise sayings. The other one is concerning health. This one reads, one day visit the hospital or the leper settlement and see how God loves you. Song health is far greater than money, but if you doubt it or think that you are an unlucky man in this world or hated by God simply because you have no money, visit the hospital or the leper settlement. There you will see with your two eyes men, women, boys, and girls who never talk about money but talk about how to get good health, which you have but does not take as something simply because you have no money. All right? So, both these things, could very easily be related to your a regular day-to-day experience, you know? And to go back a little bit to the topic that was dealt with, which was dream or Allah, right? Dreams have always been a part of African tradition, and it has been a way that I believe has always been maintained. I could remember growing up, and having discussions with my mother concerning dreams. And dreams has always been a central part in the guidance that a person would receive, whether the dreams are in the form of something good or bad, just as the article said, right? Many people, there are people who would say they do not believe in dreams, right? And then there are people who have what is called premonition, where sometimes in a full state of consciousness, they are able to visualize or have deep impressions of things that maybe are things to come in their future, right? But we recognize these things as messages from divinity, from Oludumare, sometimes from the ancestors or the Imoles, and they are to be taken seriously, and they are to be taken as some form of spiritual guidance. Many times, people sometimes may have problems remembering dreams. What is normally recommended for those type of situations is that you keep a notepad and a pen or something very handy or very close by. And as soon as you have awakened, you make some sort of a record of what you've actually dreamt. This is probably, it may seem like a very simple something that recommendation, something that most persons would overlook, but it proves to be very effective and handy. Because normally, once you engage your normal thinking process of the stuff you have to do and all that, when you get up, then those thoughts and those memories normally disappear. So, one of the ways of trying to memorize your dream is as soon as you get up, you recall it and you make a simple note of it. All right. Now, before we close off the show, um, I'm just going to speak about the African Indigenous tradition community. All right. We have classes every Tuesday, which is Ifa Orisa classes at 5 p.m. at the Bataria Community Center. That is opposite the recreation ground. These classes are every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Other than that, we have a list of virtual activities and we have two other shows that are normally streamed. All right. We have on a Sunday, we have the traditional herbal health show. All right. And on a Wednesday, we have the Ifa Bemero show. Right. On Wednesday, also, we have astrology classes at 6:30, etymology class at 5 p.m. All right. And then we have this show each Friday at 6:30 p.m. All right. So that is basically it for some of the options that you have. Other than that, these regular videos are streamed on several uh, platforms on YouTube on the Ifa Bemero home of Ifa Orisha tradition. We are also on several Facebook platforms. All right, starting with the Ifa Orisha Tradition Discussion Group of Trinidad and Tobago, the Ifa Orisha Institute of Sacred and Divine Sciences, the Traditional Herbal Health Network International, the Ifa Orisha Community Congress, the African Indigenous Tradition Community, the Grassroots Education and Entertainment Network, the Ifa Orisha Tradition Teaching Group of Trinidad and Tobago, as well as the Ifa Bemero home of Ifa Orisha Tradition. Outside of that, we have a YouTube channel that is called the Ifa Bemero home of Ifa Orisha Tradition, where you can also view this video together with numerous other videos on all sorts of subjects and topics that surround the Ifa Orisha tradition. All right, and this would end our stream for today's show. You can tune in every Friday at 6:30 p.m. where we would be discussing things that are related to the Ifa Orisha tradition for our community. And with that, I would like to say Odabo and see you next week.